Welcome everyone to Murren. This is our 2014 Christmas message.
Well, we've spent this year doing a few different activities that we'll show you in the next few pictures. We started 2014 in Murren and plan to be there again for New Year 2015. Mark and Paul roped themselves together on the 1st of January and raced in the Kandahar Scaramanga race to Winteregg. Later in January, while poor Paul had to be at college, Alana, Hugh and Mark raced in the Murren Inferno downhill from the Schildhorn all the way down to Winteregg. We all enjoyed the fast, pure downhill sections, but Alana in particular regretted the inclusion of 2 climbs. Mark also raced in the Inferno Langlauf and Giant Slalom. We returned from the Alps to see that one of the storms had blown down the largest tree in our garden. The good news is that the garden now looks bigger and we have a much larger stock of firewood. Paul is enjoying his business studies course and is vice president of the College Student Union. He competed against teams from a spectrum of colleges and won the Siemens Challenge competition. He had a very smart watch to prove it. Paul has been looking at universities, and this has provided another chance for us to see Edinburgh, as well as the Durham Business School at Stockton. Last summer, he spent a month out in Spain teaching sailing. Mark graduated from St Andrews in June. This provided us with a great excuse to spend a week in Scotland and amongst other things visited the island of May. Hugh's not going to forget in a hurry the attack from angry birds as he walked back down to the boat.
Mark Morris. Anita Parmakova.
Mark's graduation day was splendid, and we're very fortunate in having my mother up to join us in St Andrews for a couple of days. Mark is now studying for a master's degree at Erasmus University in Rotterdam. This gave us a weekend in the Netherlands as we delivered his belongings and helped him settle in. Rather than take the motorway back to Calais, we had a relaxing day driving along the dikes and through the very pleasant town of Vlissingen that Alana remembered from the days when they had a ferry service across to Sheerness. Our summer in Murren coincided with a relatively poor period of weather. Nevertheless, we managed a mix of mountain biking and walking and an expedition that Alana had wanted to undertake for a few years, over the ridge at the end of the Lauterbrunnen Valley, via a mountain hut to the Kandersteg Valley. Unfortunately, Alana fell while walking over a section of glacier and had a very painful few hours completing the journey to the hut and then the next morning down to the valley. Later, the hospital in the UK identified a break that had not shown up on the Swiss X-ray. Paul had decided that he'd like a free-fall parachute jump for his 18th birthday present. After a week of waiting for good weather, he took off from Lauterbrunnen and successfully completed the tandem parachute jump from 12,000 feet. Unfortunately, we did very little family sailing this summer. Mark and Paul did, however, take part in Bart's Bash, the record-breaking sailing race conducted at venues throughout the world in memory of Andrew Simpson, the Olympic sailor who was killed in an America's Cup accident. we were much luckier with the weather when we went back out to Murren in October. Lots of mountain biking and walking, and for most of Alana and Paul's period, blue sunny skies. That said, Hugh stayed on in Murren and experienced the first big snowfall of the season. Alana continues as a health visitor and is now based in East Horsley, altogether an improvement on her period doing a mix of school nursing and health visiting in Guildford. Hugh's portfolio life now includes more business school work, primarily focused on managing change, managing people and managing operations. He also published his first book, Stratomics, Strategies and Tactics for an Agile World. It's available from Amazon. In addition to using his folding bike for commuting in London, this year he competed in the Brompton World Championships at Goodwood, complete with a compulsory jacket and tie.
The guys at the Brompton stand are waiting.
We hope you've had a good year.
And that you have a great 2015.